In Kenya, where I'm from, we have the 40-day rest. So for those 40 days, normally people who are outside, the only people who can see you is your immediate family. Immediate family means your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, those that live in the close knit with you. Okay, and there's a reason why it's 40 days. I'll talk about that in length in another video. But for right now, I wanted to focus on why planning your postpartum period is vital and how to get the help. So I'll give you a few tips. I'll be right back. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining my channel. My name is Naomi Karemi. I'm a birth, postpartum, and bereavement doula based in the Leiden area. If you're new in my channel, as it's a new channel also, I'm glad you've stopped by. And on here, I don't have a structure yet, but I'm hoping to upload at least 3 videos every month and with different topics about motherhood, pregnancy, birth, and the postpartum. But I'm really glad you're here. So today's topic was going to be why support matters. Now, for me personally, I can never recommend it enough. So let's touch on why support matters as you prepare to meet your baby. Yeah. You know that saying, what they say sometimes, that you could have a whole room of people, but not everybody gets what it is that you need. You know, you have a whole clan of people behind you, but nobody gets it that you will need support postpartumly. This is a common thing. It's a common thing that is happening in and around a lot of communities, where as long as you are standing up and seen functioning, everybody thinks that you're okay. Okay, so the way to actually go beyond that, or the way to set the pace, because you need to set the pace as the mother to be, as a newborn mother, is to actually have a plan. So the same focus that we put on writing a birth plan, we should put the same focus on writing a postpartum plan. Now, the pandemic means that people can't pop in willy-nilly like they would have loved to, which in a way is good. The only thing is it's robbing the moms the community support which was there before. Okay. This is a tip that I always give to my clients that book me for the birth and the postpartum period, particularly. Whatever it is that you're planning for that recovery period, you want to do it both ways. He or she needs to know where everything is. He or she needs to know what is packed first and what needs to come first. When the midwife arrives, they would normally ask for a set of clothes as the labor is progressing so that they know to prepare and warm up the clothes for the babies. Yeah. So he would then need to know, or she would need to know, which packet is that comes out first. At home, it's the same. He or she needs to know where things are kept. Postpartum planning, you plan it just the way you would have planned your birth plan. So I would normally have it on the same page. So it is one page, because then that way nobody will say, oh, I didn't see it because it was on page 16. That's a tip. Nobody will say, oh, I missed it because it was on X page. All of it on one page, and only put the important stuff that matter to you. Is it the breastfeeding? You want to only focus on breastfeeding and you don't want your baby to be offered a bottle? That's one thing that you want to put down there. You don't want your baby to be given a pacifier to calm them down, because you want to first try and make sure that your breastfeeding journey is established. That's another thing you want to put down there, so that everybody is in the know who comes to you. Another one you could do is make up a plan. If you have a WhatsApp group of family and friends, in that WhatsApp group, you want to lay down the rules so that people know. If they come and they're delivering food, for example, it may be that they will not be able to come upstairs or in the living room where you are with the baby, because you're still having your moment and, brooding and still getting to know each other. There will be times that they can come and visit the baby, and that will be later on with an invitation also. But if the focus and the plan is for them to help you and look after you nutritionally and with help, somebody coming in to sweep or to help you clear up and clean up the place and make sure you have a clean house, is to only focus on that, so that your main focus is on staying with baby, getting to know each other, bonding as a family, learning everything that you need to learn together as a family. No distractions, no feeling obliged to host anybody, no feeling obliged, or the sink is full of dirty stuff. That's not supposed to be your number one priority, okay? Your number one priority is to recover and get to learn each other as you transition in your new norm as a family. So I had one of my clients one time ask me, so how will I do that with my in-laws? And I said exactly the same thing. With my in-laws, we have a WhatsApp group for the family, for my husband's family, and we talk about a lot of things on there. If you have something like that, that's another way to use it. In Holland, we're very lucky because they have a system of card invitation. And on the card, they announce the birth, but also they set out the rules of, do you want to come? These are the times that you can, or please call beforehand. And, everybody knows what to expect because they have a baby borrowal, which is the party that they host afterwards to celebrate the birth. In Kenya, where I'm from, we have the 40-day rest. So for those 40 days, normally people who are outside, the only people who can see you is your immediate family. Immediate family means your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, those that live in the close knit with you. Okay? And there's a reason why it's 40 days. So on your postpartum guide or preferences or wish list, you want to focus on what your family needs are. In Holland, we have the kraamzorg, which they work similar as the maternity nurses in the UK. Not the health visitor, maternity nurses, because the health visitor does the health part, and they normally do come quite later on. The kraamzorg is normally outside your door if you gave birth at the hospital. When you are discharged from hospital, they would normally, the nurses or midwives at the hospital or your own husband or partner would call up and tell them, right, today we are going home, X time, and they, the kraamzorg, will make sure that they are at your house waiting for you as you come in. So it's a really luxurious system that we have. Really, really nice. And I love that they do more than just look after you. If you are lucky, because there is something about education and experience. There are some who are purely out of college and don't have the experience. And those can really, you can feel the grit with some. Yeah, I had the best. With the kraamzorg, when she comes to your home, you also want to have that list of preferences or wishes near you, next to your bedside. Most of them, or literally all of them, understand English, so it's not going to be a problem that it's written in English. If that's the language you wrote it in, they will understand. Yeah, and you want to keep the list as short as possible. You don't have to complicate anything. Birth is an event. I always say this to my clients. It's an event, and you can't control every step of how things happen. We need to sometimes let nature take its toll, and sometimes we need to be inviteful for people so that people don't feel like you're rigid. You know. And so, if you are also going to be living in a house that has different floors, another tip is to make sure you have a little basket that you can put stuff for downstairs and stuff for upstairs. Just the basic things. You want to make sure you're able to have diapers at hand, wipes, thermometer, alcohol for cleaning up the thermometer if you end up using it, a set of clean clothes, a romper, trouser, top, and socks, just to save you going up and down the stairs, because you don't know what the bath will be like. It might be that you end up having a C-section or just a long prolonged labor and you're all sore, and yeah, it's handy to have things on both levels that you will need at hand. Okay, so aside from knowing what each other knows, or aside from knowing where you have folded and placed things in the house, another one will be food. So you want to cook up towards the end or towards the time when you're giving birth. You want to make sure you have some leftovers or enough leftovers, or think of meals that are easy to prepare. Okay, that he can prepare or she can prepare for you. And yeah, sit down and relax and enjoy your moments. Learn your baby's language, learn all the cues, learn each other. Mood will change in the house. You know, you as the newborn mother, you'll have hormones all over the place, and he may be frustrated with not knowing what to do or wants to help but doesn't know how to help. That's another tip. Lay down what it is that you expect of your partner during the postpartum so that they're in the know. A lot of moms feel frustrated and become really resentful because they were not supported in the postpartum period. But most of them, when you come to ask what was the plan, or what did you plan, or what did you discuss beforehand, usually you find there wasn't much of planning, and that's the honest truth. Usually you find there wasn't a lot of planning that was discussed beforehand. So unless they know how it is that you want to be supported, then they don't know. So communication is very vital. Okay, and now that we are on the virtual way of living also, don't forget to reach out to people. Create that WhatsApp group that you can call people and have contact with everybody, aside from breastfeeding and feeding and changing diapers and everything else, because that becomes so repetitive. It's not good for your mental health. Call the adults, call the friends, have a laugh, mingle with people from a distance if you can, but think about your postpartum recovery. Now, I'm gonna leave it here. There'll be other more topics to discuss. I'm creating content depending on how this one does, but I'm absolutely loving it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I know I'm really new in this game, but I would love it if you subscribed. It would give me a lot of energy and enticement to continue. And until next time, thank you and take care. Look after yourselves. Bye for now.